You're listening to Inside Lebo, a podcast giving you an inside look at Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Hosted by Assistant Municipal Manager and Municipal Planner Ian McMeans and Assistant Public Information Officer and Online Editor Stephanie Hackey.
Hello and welcome to Inside Lebo. I'm your host, Assistant Municipal Manager and Municipal Planner Ian McMeans.
And I'm Assistant Public Information Officer and Online Editor Stephanie Hackey.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We have a very exciting episode where we are here to talk about the conclusion of the Uptown Streetscape project and what that means for the community moving forward.
Yes, can we give a big applause here? Yay! So excited today here to talk about the big event plan to mark that occasion, and the big finish of Uptown is Economic Development and Commercial Districts Manager Eric Milliron. Welcome, Eric.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
Thank you for being back on here.
Great to be here.
So it's finally here, the end of the project.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So tell us about the event that we have coming up.
Sure. Well, the event is called Uptown Unveiled. It will be Saturday, August 5th. So it's the Saturday right after our final First Friday. So, on Saturday, August 5th, from noon to 6, we will be celebrating the completion of the project and unveiling it to the community. So while we've all seen it being transformed, this will be an opportunity for you to really get into the project and look at it from all angles.
I love that. So
this is a little different than like the first Fridays where it's an evening event. This is an afternoon event. You said noon to 6 o'clock.
That's correct. Yeah, It's going to be in the afternoon.
Okay, and then are we closing the road too?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. So unlike a First Friday, we will have the street shut down. I mentioned we want to look at this from all angles, and I meant that. So Washington Road will be closed. It'll be closed from the south side of Cedar, which means that the north garage will be open so you can park there. And then the street will be closed to Lebanon. And that allows folks to get into the street, see the planners from, again, all angles, enjoy the new sidewalks, and most importantly, the businesses.
that's awesome. Who is this event for? Is it families then, since it's during the day? Is it everyone?
Yeah, I mean, it's really everyone. We're going to have games there for families, but it's games, for children of all ages. So, we'll have cornhole and, the large Connect Four, and you can't have a party without a very large Jenga somewhere. So we're going to have that. So there'll be some of that. We're going to have live music, which I'm looking forward to discussing. So it's really for families. It's for singles. It's for couples. But from my perspective, it's for the businesses. And this is giving the street back to the community, but Uptown and Washington Road is, the livelihood of hundreds of individuals that run the shops and offices and businesses that we like to visit and frequent. So this event really is a thank you to them and the community for their patience, and come up here and shop and go out to eat.
So basically, we're showing them a thanks for taking their whole time through all of this and bearing with us, and now
Yes.
we get to celebrate them.
That's right. It's really a celebration. This I look at this as a kickoff celebration, and we're going to celebrate them 365 days a year, moving forward. And we have other events planned, but this is really sort of a kickoff. The first time we've been able to have an event in 2 years where we can really fully embrace and take advantage of what the street has to offer.
That's awesome. Really exciting.
And really, maybe more than 2 years, because before that, things were shut down from COVID. So it's probably been since, 2019 or so that we've really had a full, business district gala.
Yeah, I was trying to forget about that pandemic thing, but yeah, you're absolutely right. So it has been longer. The project itself is about a year and a half, approaching 2 years, but the pandemic certainly predated that. And while we've had some events, we've been able to bring back First Friday, and we had a really wonderful holiday celebration last December, which we'll be doing again. I'm sure that'll be a podcast.
Cannot wait. Yes. Stay tuned.
Won't get into that yet because it is July.
Christmas in July, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Well. Let's stay focused, gang. The this is really the first time we've been able to have an event where we can really take full advantage of all that Uptown has to offer, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
So go ahead.
So you mentioned the live music. Is that going to be in Clearview Common or out on the street?
Yeah, well, a couple of locations.
Okay.
There will be 2 primary locations.
Ooh, so like a festival almost.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we toyed, I think, with calling it some kind of fest, but fests generally become annual events, and we hope to not make reopening Washington Road an annual event. So, with that being said, yes, it's very good. It's going to be very festival-like, very fest-like. So at Clearview Common, we're going to have 3 acts. They're what I'll call more First Friday acts, or amps, acts that you would have full sound amplification.
There are featured acts then, almost?
They're featured. But the folks that are playing at the other stage are just as great and just as talented, but just don't need as much volume,
Gotcha.
perhaps. So at Clearview Common, we have a number of bands. We have 3. We have Dan Petrick, who is going to be kicking things off at Clearview Common, followed by Fungus, and then wrapping up the festivities will be Big Fat Mallard. I think we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then at the Clock Tower, a little more scaled down because East End Brewing, as we all hopefully know, has opened, and they have outdoor seating, so I didn't want to blow any eardrums out. So the music up there is a little more tamped down, and we have the Mackin Duo, which is the Mackin family, but just 2 of them, doing some acoustic bluegrass. And we have some finger picking sounds coming after that. And then Vinyl Remains, the owner of Vinyl Remains, and one of his friends will be DJing and playing what I'll call classic hip hop.
Nice.
So music from my era, late 80s, early 90s, family friendly, as well as funk and things of that nature. So that'll be up at the Clock Tower.
Cool.
So we've got a wide mix here of performers.
Yeah, we wanted to, not everybody likes, chocolate marshmallow ice cream. Some like vanilla, some like strawberry, right? So, we wanted to provide a mix of different genres and mediums.
Yeah.
So hence the DJing, and he's also a local business, right?
Right,
So,
absolutely. Bring it right back to the businesses.
Right on. So he'll be spinning wax.
Yeah. So tell us a little more about Big Fat Mallard, since you mentioned them. And
Sure. Well, one, their name is just great.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you hire a band called Big Fat Mallard? Plus, their mascot is a big fat mallard with a gold chain and shades. So I was sold on that. But I saw them at Three Rivers Arts Fest, and I was encouraged to stick around by some folks, and I'm glad I did. So they perform locally. They're a funk band with a little bit of hip hop tinge to it. So there's some vocals and rapping, but also just straight up funk. So they're really a fun band to see, and I think the name kind of gives that away. You're not going to hear any heavy-duty lyrics. It's mostly going to be about dancing and.
I was going to say, are we going to get up there and dance?
Moving
Is it.
it.
Yeah.
Their primary motivation is to move the crowd. So that's what we expect them to do.
That's awesome. And
Nice.
who is Fungus? We're going from the name to name here. These names are
Yeah,
great. I
well,
love
again,
it.
another fun name, Fungus. So they get it, everyone.
Yup.
So they are probably, and I don't want to misspeak, but I think they're probably the longest running Grateful Dead tribute band in Pittsburgh. I moved here in the late 90s, and they were playing then. So and they predate that. So they've been around quite a while. And I just gave it away. They're a Grateful Dead cover band, but they do more than that. It is a heavy duty on the Grateful Dead repertoire, but they also do a lot of other great classic tunes by the band and CCR and things of that nature. But they bring their own crowd. If anybody knows anything about the Grateful Dead, people follow them. And this band doesn't quite have that following, but people do come. So we're looking forward to having our Fungus friends join us from whatever parts of the Pittsburgh metro they may come from.
great. Any other notes on any of the other bands?
They're just all really fantastic. I mean, a lot of it is local talent. Dan is a Mount Lebanon resident and school teacher, so we're pretty stoked to have him back. We had him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we had him at a First Friday, I think about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just he's well loved and he's very talented. He plays at Mel's Petite Cafe, I know locally, so she's been doing some music there in Cochrane. He's performed at Club Cafe. He has some of his own albums that are available. So real talented guy. So we're really glad to have him, and a lot of other local connections as well.
Cool.
Very cool.
The other band.
This sounds like it's going to be a great event. We're going to take a short break here to all have a sip of water, and we'll be back with more with Eric Milliron, our Commercial Districts Manager, on our exciting Uptown Unveiled event.
I want this band.
Welcome back to Inside Lebo. We're here with Eric Milliron, our Commercial Districts Manager, talking about the Uptown Unveiled event that is taking place on Saturday, August 5th to symbolically give back the business district after the construction project to the business owners and to the community. So it's a community event from noon to 6 on Saturday, August 5th. So come up to the Uptown District and check it out. So Eric, we talked a bit about, we're giving the district back to the businesses after COVID, after, the construction project. What else does it mean for the business community?
Just that they can embrace normalcy again. They don't have to worry about a temporary shutdown or the various inconveniences. Candidly talking about customers about the project, so they can just get back to why they're here, or whatever that might be, whether it's selling a hammer at Rollers or selling some Kung Pao at Sesame. So, it's really for that. And, we hope that the Uptown Unveiled event will bring a robust crowd up here to do just all of those things. Visit the businesses, get reacquainted if it's been a while since you've been up here, have lunch, have dinner, stroll around at your leisure. That's why we wanted the event sort of to stretch for as it does for 6 hours, so you can come up at your convenience and really go. I'm hoping people go door to door and just pop in and just look around. We have some new shops up here. That's the other thing too. Despite this project and some of the frustrations and inconveniences that it caused, we've seen more businesses open. I hope you'll come up to check those out.
Yeah. So what are some of the businesses offering that day? I know we'll have, a beer truck or something here?
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad. It's good to have priorities, and that is one of mine. So, East End is one of the businesses that opened up in the last few years, and they will have their pub and tap room open with the pizza and all their other offerings, but they also have a tap truck. So we're going to bring that down to where the street is closed and set that up. So if you want to have a beer and watch the bands and not have to walk up the street, you can do that. Totopo is looking to bring their truck out so you can enjoy those offerings on the street.
The Via truck, is that right?
Yeah.
And, got a new name, new brand. If you're curious about that, read lebomag.com. We have a story there about that.
Very good. Yes, dude, please do read that. And Betsy's Ice Cream, I've talked to the owner of that establishment, and provided he's not booked that day, we're still waiting for a confirmation, but I expect that he'll have his truck up. But there's also going to be open houses. I know some of the businesses are going to be tabling. I just spoke with the owner of Rainia's, and she's really stoked to come up and have a table there to remind folks about what Rainia's offers folks in terms of catering and weddings and all sorts of other things. And that, I think, is going to happen over and over again. That's my hope, up and down the street, as businesses open their doors and have open houses and sales and all of those good things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can stop by for some tacos, some
Ice cream, and then have a drink
cream.
afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like a wonderful day.
We're making sure all of your meals, every course is offered.
You can cap off the day with some coffee, maybe. I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's more my thing. So.
Absolutely. Yep. Both of our coffee houses will be rocking and rolling.
So, since this is the Uptown Unveiled event, is there a ribbon cutting as well?
Well, yes, there is, Ian. There will be a ribbon cutting. A project of this scale, and just to remind folks, this is roughly a $4 million project. So that's a lot of coin. And, Mount Lebanon certainly came to the table to make that happen. But we had partners in the mix. Allegheny County provided us some very valuable grant funding, as did the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we did have some great grant partners in this. So, we've asked our friends from Harrisburg and the county to come. Our municipal manager, the esteemed Mr. Keith McGill, will be here, as well as some commission representation. And then a few business owners are happy to stand at the fancy ribbon with those huge scissors. I think that's why they're coming, just for those, the scissors.
They're pretty cool. I actually got a sneak peek at them.
Oh, did you?
They're pretty cool, yeah.
We'll keep those under lock, because I think. But so we're going to have a nice ribbon ceremony. That'll be at 3 o'clock at the clock tower area, where the music we had talked about earlier and DJing will take place. So that'll be at 3 o'clock. We're looking forward to that.
That's awesome. So we've talked a lot about this event. Let's just talk about the project really quickly. What is the significance of this project, and how will it improve the Uptown Business District for the future?
Sure. Well, it's setting the table. So, without making anyone get nervous, this is, really the first phase, or the first chapter in an evolving story journey of how we seek to and will be transforming Uptown. We're in the 21st century now, and how people interact with downtowns has radically changed since Uptown was last renovated, which was in the 90s. So one of the opportunities, the project really offered a number of opportunities. One, we significantly increased and enhanced the street lighting uptown. What folks can see now is the lamp posts, but those are dark sky lamp posts, so it's not adding to light pollution. The light's going where it ought to go, which is on the sidewalks where people are walking.
And they look great too. I really like the design and style of them.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I think we've heard really positive feedback, even in the midst, the throes of when things were really, really getting rough there. The light poles were one of the...
I like them. I don't know. I sat out there a couple times. I was at Uptown Coffee, sat out there and actually just watched them install them, and it was pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is,
Yeah.
and they're great, and they're functional and all that stuff. So, and we had to replace those. The old poles were past their useful life. Frankly, they weren't even manufactured anymore. We had all new conduit that was put in. We had conduit that was actually on fire, and it was so old. I could go on about a lot of that stuff, but there was a lot of infrastructure that was taking place. With new conduit, we're now running irrigation taps to the planters, which we did not have before. So the planters are going to be a lot easier to maintain and sustain. We have improved the slopes of the sidewalks up here. That's a fact. So we're happy with that. We've added some additional landing spaces for folks, so that you can, when you're waiting to cross the street, some of the crossing intersections have been vastly improved. We've opened up a lot of space for programming. If you've been to events uptown, you know that we've kind of been shoehorned into Clearview Common. Well, we've opened up the area in front of the municipal building, so that's going to be a lot easier for us to program during events. The clock tower area has been radically transformed and enhanced for performance and for programming activities, and that's just the beginning. And of course, the new sidewalk and how the design intent really lifts and creates a 21st century look and feel, but while still maintaining and recognizing our historic role in the Pittsburgh region. It gives us a really great platform to leap into the next phases, which are looking at how we make Clearview Common function better, how we make Parse Way function better, and how we connect to the transit system at the light rail station. So those will be issues we're looking forward to tackling in the coming years.
And you mentioned also sort of setting the table for potentially like looking at public art installations and things like that as well, that now that we have a new sort of tabula rasa, to use a phrase, a blank slate to kind of build upon, we can look at some of those things as well. And the one other thing too, you mentioned the lighting, not only the lights from above, but I believe the planters are going to have lights inside them to kind of make those areas pop a little bit overnight too.
Yeah, absolutely. I could go on and on. There's a lot of details in this project that I think now that it is complete, people are really going to start seeing. There are still some punch list items that need to be done. That ambient lighting in the planters is one of them. But when that's complete, and this is really a done deal, 100%, bow on the package. I think when people come up here in the evening, daytime, whatever. It's really going to be a magical experience. And the public art is really ramping up now. That's a podcast on its own, but we're very assertively moving in that direction right now. The public might be seeing some demonstration pieces. We're really looking to transform Washington Road into an avenue of light, and part of that is some of the public art that we're looking to install, which broadcasts LED and laser type imagery on the sidewalks and potentially onto buildings and lots of other things. So
Ooh.
We're exploring that right now.
Very cool.
Demonstration pieces have been ordered, should be installed in the coming weeks. And if everything goes to plan, and we're hoping to start really installing public art in the Uptown corridor in the next year to 2 years.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And to go back to the very beginning of the planning of this project, one of the end goals was to have the Uptown District be sort of the crown jewel of community business districts in the Pittsburgh region. So that's what we're working towards and moving in that direction. And the Uptown Unveiled event is a very exciting first step, and we hope everyone comes out and spends some time in our new and improved business district.
Real quick, can you run down the times for each band?
Yeah, sure. Well, just starting at Clearview Common, we'll have Dan Petrick from noon to 2, so it's 2-hour chunks.
Okay.
So noon to roughly 2, Fungus will be then 2 to 4, and then Big Fat Mallard, I just enjoy saying that, will be 4 to 6. And you have to keep in mind there will be periods where the bands have to switch instruments
Right.
and sound checks and things like that. So that's just some roughed out numbers there for that schedule. And then the same, it's a mirror at Clock Tower Plaza, just with different names. So, noon to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6. And again, we have the Mackin Duo and lots of other talent up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the games and everything will be all day, correct?
Yeah, they will, and it's first come, first serve. So yeah, that will be all day.
So if you've ever wanted to play cornhole in the middle of Washington Road, now is your chance.
Now is the time. And there'll be other games as well. There's more to come, but there's going to be all of that, and we're really looking forward to it.
Very exciting. Well, do you have anything else you want folks to know about Uptown Unveiled?
Just to please come up. It's a rain or shine event. So if it's raining at noon, don't panic. Maybe it won't be at 3. The businesses need you. They've weathered a few storms here, and they're really looking forward to seeing everyone back uptown and getting back to work.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for being here. I'm sure we'll chat with you again soon about some other things going on. But that's it for this edition of Inside Lebo, produced by Carrie Monyo, with music by Drew Monyo and graphics by Chris Leeper.
Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back soon with another episode of Inside Lebo.
Thanks for listening to Inside Lebo, produced by Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office. Learn more about all things Lebo at mountlebanon.org or by following our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages.